The future of Gauteng's economy starts here. Gauteng entrepreneurs are a vital component of driving the South African economy and enhance its overall productivity and global competitiveness. Hence the establishment of the Gauteng Enterprise Propeller, GEP, an agency of the Department of Economic Development mandated to support, develop, and propel SMMEs and cooperatives into the mainstream economy. Our function as GEP include the revitalization of Gauteng's township economy, increased participation of SMMEs in mainstream economy, and contribute to the growth and development of ecosystem centers. Each of these functions and support services at GEP has been well thought through and supported by expert research, which corroborates both the financial and non-financial support to ensure the sustainability of our entrepreneurs. The success of our entrepreneurs is the very lifeblood of our organization. Therefore, our support services are comprehensive, spanning from financial support to the softer skills such as hand-holding and information sharing support. With millions trying to make it in Gauteng,
Good morning.
we operate in a highly competitive market. Therefore, there are key compulsory requirements used to make our selections. 1.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Before I say anything further, I'd like to have everybody from the back to just fill in the gaps on the front rows, please. Thank you. Can you move forward, please? If you're moving as a team, then you can always look at the table that has 2 chairs. Thank you very much. Can I just have the guys at the back on my left-hand side please come forward and fill in just these chairs here. This is just for the sake of the recording, to get the right quality of the picture. Please. Great. Thank you very much for that. So we are going to have our pre-activity before we begin the program, and without further ado, I'd like to call on Mr. Funny. He will introduce himself and he will just share what the activity is about. Enjoy. Mr. Funny, please.
You must be a South African citizen. 2. Your business must be in Gauteng. 3. You must be the owner and operator of the business. 4. And the business should be black majority.
I'm sure we all woke up at the right time and activated for the day ahead, right? Let's see if we have woke up at the right time and activated for the day ahead. My name is Fanisi Tabela, the Chief Entrepreneurship Officer at Malvola Holdings, Yes, I'm entitled to the title Entrepreneurship Officer. Those who want to learn more and know more or interrogate that title can meet me after, not now. Then we can discuss that. I have been an entrepreneur. I most of the time seated like you guys in number of events, and I'm still doing for personal growth and learning. So you are doing a great deal to have been here on time. First of all, congratulations, and give yourself a round of applause, please. Yes. Right. What I'm going to be doing with you or engaging with you is going to have to start with a bit of an action. We have arrived here this morning. We haven't introduced ourselves to each other. I'm going to just give one of us a minute to introduce ourselves to each other. I'm not going to say how you should introduce yourself because there is a catch after that. So let's introduce ourselves to each other. Just a minute, and your minute starts now. Pause the minute. Pause the minute. Hello. Hello. For these minutes I'm still standing here. I'm the president of this time. So you guys send me to come and stand here. So I'm in control of that. We're pausing the minute. We're actually retracting it. First, if I had to judge you or give you scores for introduction of each other, for the introduction, you would have all failed. You'd have all failed. I didn't want to tell you how to introduce yourself. I said introduce yourself to each other, and you showed me how you introduce yourself to each other. So with my scoring sheet, all of you get zeros. So now, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to guide you on how to introduce yourself to each other. First, you stand up, you look around, you spot a target. Let's introduce ourselves to each other. Like the way he's saying, I'm the president excluding me. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Funny, but I have introduced myself again. Congratulations. Good, my guy. Good, good. Yeah, you have to be ever ready for this thing. I was just told 1 minute ago I have to do this. So I didn't it is. So this is the only way to be creative. Just let them spend some time. And
Spot more than one target in that minute, eh?
those are some of the things I'm going to indulge. I want to see how they do this.
You can't stand alone, young lady.
Because actually they got this. It's the most
20 seconds remaining. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 minute over.
the time ended and the bus stops here. Colleagues, I'm back on my seat as the chair and the president of the time. The time ended and the bus stops here. Okay, cool. Okay, we all familiar with cool, right? Young people, entrepreneurship, you know? Good. This is how we're going to start. The gentleman with the earphones on, the one who's exactly looking at the back. Is it a gentleman, the one in the middle? Or a lady? Well, I'm wearing glasses, so you'd pardon me. Okay, this one. The one who's looking back. Yes. You? Yes. Or you're not on earphones. It's fine. Can you tell me who you have introduced, one person, who you have introduced yourself to, and what is that person doing? Oh, you a gentleman? Yes, it's fine. Yeah. Okay. Okay. The pink jacket lady, can you also tell us who you have introduced yourself and what are they doing? Yeah. Okay, thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, or should I say guys? Ladies and gentlemen, right, good. You have given an opportunity of 1 minute to introduce yourself to each other. The first 1 minute was a total failure because there were some things you didn't know that I'm going to share with you. Or maybe you have forgotten, you have learned them somewhere, but you happen to forget them. This is our networking session. Networking is about interacting. It's about communicating. And in that process, when you communicate and interacting with people, you need to have value out of the conversation. You either add value or you receive it. When you were interacting with each other, by a blink of a second, you could have heard whether this person I'm connecting with or not. Others continued to communicate with that person for the sake of procrastinating. Others moved immediately because they felt that this is not my line and I would be wasting my time. So those are some of the things we'll be talking about. So I'm going to give you 10 networking tips. These are business when I was 19. Now I'm standing at the age of, should we talk about that? Now I'm standing at the age, well, this is 2018, right? Yeah, probably I'll be turning 33. Probably, I'm not sure. I'm assuming. Okay. First, this is what you do when you network. Let's talk about, I have already given you the first tip. You stand up, you look around. If you are in an activity like this, you don't just sit and interact with the person who's next to you. There's a number of people inside here. And mind you, you guys are going to spend 24 hours together. So by knowing each other now, it gives you an advantage that as the day progresses, you know who to schedule in your busy schedule for the next 24 hours. Pella, you're going to be busy, so you must have that diary to say, I'm scheduling you in for this couple of minutes to engage with you about that business. Or the other one said, the contact said, Basazama. Probably you could be part of the process or you can improve it. The first thing, you must set up a goal when you go to a networking activity. For example, you guys were called or you saw the advert of being here. Can I have the moving one? This one, it keeps me. Thank you. For example, you guys have seen an advert for this, or you have been called to participate in this event. What you should have put it down firstly is to say what the event is all about, who is going to be there, How am I going to benefit? Then that's what you set when you're going for a networking activity. For example, this is what I used to do early when in my business. At some point, I found myself in a construction and development conference. I wasn't even a constructor. But when I got in, I was lost, basically. But only to find out that I was lost at the right point, at the right place. Because the contact I was looking for was actually addressing that conference. So if I had done my research properly, I would have been part of that conference, not necessarily to participate, but to target my contact, because that's the only point where I could access them and be able to interact and express my views and share my ideas. So that helps with networking, to set a goal for networking. How many of you in here have started businesses already? Okay, how many of you who have ideas and say, I'm about to start, I have interacted, I have made research and all that? How many of you don't know anything about business? Who are here to say, I'm here to learn about business? Remember, we interacting, right? There's no judging today. Forget, there's no grant today. We're not talking any money here. So, yeah, so be flexible, you know? So for those who have been in business, have you got a business from a word of mouth, from whatever that your company is providing? I can be showing by raising our hands, because I think that's the only way to communicate, because I'm a bit... Okay, I want you to share just one line on your first deal in word of mouth communication.
Okay, my name is Fernando Fostena. I'm in engineering sector and manufacturing sector. In my first deal, what I did, I just presented myself, what I'm doing, and what services that I'm going to be able to provide. And also I had to introduce to the person that our quality is good, and also we are competing in terms of price.
Then out of that, you got a deal. Okay, congratulations. The second one, a bit of a difference. Do we have? Okay.
Good morning, everybody. I got referred basically by a municipality to a client. Okay, I do apologize for that. I got referral from a municipality to work with a private client, and which was quite good business. Yeah.
So, in this part of the question, we have learned two things. First, he interacted with the potential client. The second one, she got a referral. For those who are starting businesses, for those who are intending at the ideology stage, you have already got your notes sorted, isn't it? Good. Then now we move to number 2. What is the second point? This is what I always tell people to do, ask people or encourage people to do. Act like a host, but don't be a host, because you are not. Act like a host, but don't be a host, because you are not. As I go down, it's going to tell you on why I was saying that. So that's the item number 2. This is how. You find entrepreneurs, when they try to network, they want to overload the process, while it's very simple. When I was about to do my second degree, I was stranded. I was an entrepreneur. I didn't know what to do. I was at the building of a particular company which happened to have the COO in the lift, in the elevator, which they have advertised the sponsorship for scholarships. For the fact that I had seen that that was the COO in the elevator, and I've got an opportunity to get into that elevator and convince the guy that I might be the qualifier of the scholarship. I got in an elevator. I was panicking. I wanted to act like a host, but I wasn't. I interacted with the guy, with the gentleman, sorry, introduced myself. These days, there's a word that we call, they even in the social interactions, they call a pickup line. You must be very aware of your pickup line. Don't turn people off. So that is also much, much important when you network. So you must be, so if I would have messed up on my pickup line, I wouldn't have been able to, for my BBA to have been paid by that company without me paying a single cent. So you need to outsmart your pickup line when you interact with your target. Okay. Okay, as I was in the, I'm trying to rephrase 9 years back, as I was in the elevator. Or I'll give the pickup line relevant to the current situation. Yes. When you introduce yourself to each other, it's much important to relate to what the activity is all about. For example, you are at a wedding or you are at the business conference, and you look at if the person was a speaker or just an ordinary candidate. Mostly in events like this, we all have name tags, or others wear company clothing, branding of their companies. So that gives you an idea on who you are going to be targeting and who you are going to be speaking to. The other point would be when you speak with the person, firstly, you must acknowledge the present. You cannot start a pickup line of a wedding at the business conference unless if the business is wedding related. You cannot start a pickup line of a funeral when you are at the party. It's a total turn. You cannot start a pickup line of a party when you are at the funeral. It's a total turn off. Ladies will tell you best about pickup lines, guys. Will tell you best about pickup lines. So in business, especially those entrepreneurs who want to start and those who are already in business, it's important to introduce yourself. After introducing yourself, don't try to give the person you're talking to a company profile in a sentence. They will automatically move away. Sell what you are there for. My name is Fanny Sitabella, the Chief Entrepreneurship Officer at Malvola Holdings. I was actually interested on how you presented on the issue of entrepreneurship the other day. You're attracting the person's attention. Oh, you really? Not to say, hi, my name is Fanny Sitabella, the Chief, and then say, hey, your earrings are very nice. Like, okay. Your tie, I like your tie, sir. Thank you. And then it ended. So that, or when you interact with your target, you look at the name tag. Oh, Delegate, Malvola Holdings. Okay. Good morning. My name is Fanny Sitabella. I'm from Malvola Holdings. Hey, Malvola Holdings. You look at the delegate. Ntate Fanny, what do you guys know, do at Malvola? Or what is your website, or how do I get to access more information about your company? You call the person you acknowledge the person by their name, because you have already looked at the name tag. It guided you. So that throws the attention to the person. How did this person know me? Oh, by the way, I'm wearing a name tag. So those are some of the examples of setting goals, setting up your pickup line when you interact in the business. Then we move. Don't try to close a deal in a night. You met a person, you've just introduced yourself, now you are pushing them. And Tatefani, I've just, we just separated right now from the parking lot. My name is, gosh, dude, I heard who you are, and I'm just walking to the car. I haven't been inside the car. You're already calling me. The best thing to do that is to do a formal follow-up. You have met with me this morning. You've introduced yourself either by way of writing my contact details or taking a business card or one way or the other. Then that's why I always insist on taking contacts, particularly the email. Some people are very sensitive on the calls, and others are very on the road. You know, email is much important. How many of us have emails here, business emails? Okay, how many of us have emails? All of us here who have personal emails, when we walk out of this session, let we all go create business emails. Do we understand what are the business emails? Should I have to maybe tap in? Okay. Hi, Fanny. My name is Thabo. I'm from Thabo Investments. Can I please have your email address? My email address is fanny@malvola.co.za. What is Fanny? Malvola is the company I'm working for, meaning you have a domain registered business. It helps in a point of credibility. We all use the Gmails, webmails, mostly on personal basis, but at some point, normally the IT sector will tell you about the emails that those are unrecognized emails. Mostly, when a person wants to hack or wants to do, they could be easily accessible. But we continue to use them anyway because they are reliable in terms of the costs and especially when you are starting a business. But when you are at the level of, now I want to build up my business, it's important to have a business email that will also relate to your business. It builds credibility to whoever you're speaking to. You'll tell me if I'm now speaking too much and you're starting to be thinking that you are part of the church. Okay, I'm just getting to a close, to end up. I've already spoken about exchanging of business cards. I've spoken about don't try to close a deal at the first night or at the first engagement. What I will, let me go back to that one. What I will advise is a proper follow-up is to at least after 24 hours or 48 hours, send an email. Normally people say, Fanny, we have a problem on how we continue the conversation on email or to start it on emails. Make simple, a subject, you can start making contact, keeping in contact. Then you put the subject, then you start. It will depend then on how it attracts the person you're speaking to. Don't start and say, for example, I normally do this. Keep the subject, or if I've spoken with the person, I write I don't have a subject, I write my name and my company name on the subject. Then that reminds the person that I'm sending an email to that I have once engaged with this person. Then it could be able to start the follow-up process. Well, when you are at the event, for example, event like this, take notes. For example, if maybe a next speaker, let's say Ntateme introduces himself, and he says, I'm from this government institution and this department, you look at your needs to say that speaker had said he's from this particular department and my business wants to interact with that department. So that means I have the person to interact with, which is Ntateme. So you take notes. As speakers comes in and speak, oh, is that my target? Okay, he said he's from this company, he said he's doing this and that, then you note it down. That will help you to say how, when you want to do follow-ups, you know who you are following up with.
it is always important in the conversation to listen. For example, when we introduce ourselves to people in a networking platform, we just go haywire, only to find out that person didn't hear what you were saying. Or a person say, I'm fine. You didn't even hear whether the person said, I'm fine. You continued. And at the end of the day, the lift stops, the elevator stops, the person walks out. But say, like, that person has already responded to you. So managing a conversation in a networking platform is very much important. You give each other space to interact. I speak, you speak. I listen, you listen, without it being told to you. So those are some of the important aspects to look into. So I know I've mixed them as I was talking. So what I'm going to do, because I didn't have the PowerPoint presentation, I'm just going to call them so that you can note them down for your beneficial use. Let's start with, actually am I still on? Can I? Okay. Okay. Thank you. So I have just wrapped it up in the conversation. I've spoken about a number of things without pointing them out because I wanted to create a conversation without pinpointing. So now I'm going to pinpoint them for you so that if you feel the importance of noting them down to refer on them later, here are they. Number one, have a look at the networking event that you are going to, meaning research. Research the event before you can go to it. And if you are at the event already, think the conversation you're going to engage in with the next person. The second one would be set goals for the number of people you would like to interact with. I've just given an example to say if the second speaker is on this department and you are looking for a particular needs from that organization, that gives you an opportunity to spot that person or to create a platform. Number three, act like a host while you are not, but not like a guest. Number four, listen and ask questions. Number five, don't try to close a deal on the night or at the moment. Number six, give referrals wherever possible. As you engage in the conversation, well, we have just built a building for Ekurhuleni municipality in the past 2 years. The budget was this. That depends on the interaction with the person. So if you're going to say, I have done this and that, but you get what I mean, create a conversation so you assess the conversation as you interact with the person. So it is also important to give referrals in that regard. Exchange contacts. It's important. Either a business card. Well, people have different views in terms of exchanging of contacts. So I'm not going to guide you to say whether a business cards, whether a what, but exchange. I'm sure there's that Derek who's going to be speaking here on branding and all that. I'm not sure. Probably will touch on that in terms of the importance of these tools as you network in part of as part of branding yourself. Manage your time effectively. We are at number? Write notes. If you have a business card, or write a note that will be able to refer you to that conversation when you do follow-up. I've already given you tips to say how to write notes in terms of a referral. You either identify a person or you identify an institution. If you have a paper or if you have a business card or if you have a mobile social network, you write. These days we are technology savvy, so you can write your notes so that it helps you when you refer for a follow-up. You are able to remember who you have interacted with and what is your need or what was your point of contact with that person. The last one will be follow up and manage your new network. When you do follow-ups, I've said give a person a space, identify your subject when on a follow-up, which would normally happen on a form of email, a text, in any other way. These days, people even do in-mail on LinkedIn where, there is social network. That is why I said we are technology savvy. So it's easy for us to network. So that was number 10. Before we close, I want us to do this. I'm going to start with the gentleman here. Okay, I'm going to start with the people who are sitting. You're looking at me, right? Yes. All right. I've got my 3 delegates. I'm sending you. Anish? Yes. So, my 3 delegates, can you please do what I did to the next person, and you do to the next person, and you do to the... And the last person must raise the hand. The last person to be whispered on must raise the hands to say, I'm the last person. Pardon? I will stop it. Stop. Did you hear my message? So these are some of the importance of networking. And some of these things comes naturally, right? But if you are being taught and guided on them, it at least guides you and nature you. So don't worry, my guy, you're not lost. It's fine. We're okay. So what I said after I have been whispered to my 3 delegates, I would call them delegates, I said, do what I did. Now, can you give me an answer of what you were whispered on? Thank you. Can you give me an answer of what you were whispered on? Can you give me the answer what you were whispered on? stand up so that others can see. Good. Should I unlock you, or should I just say, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time? What I did was strengthening and showing the importance of communication and the listening skills. I'm not, well, you know, at higher education, they don't say there's no right or wrong answer. So you have given me answers, but the question was, how old is the president of South Africa? So what I'm trying to show you is when you communicate with someone from one person to the other, how people develop listening skills and communications and interpret the information back to the next person. That is very much important when you network, so that you are able to do a follow-up. Thank you very much for your time.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, can we just honor Mr. Fanny Sitapela, the Chief Entrepreneurship Officer. Thank you very much. It is an honor and a privilege to be in your midst this morning. We are about to begin our program for the day. My name is Sekanyiso Okanyangetu. I'll be a program director. Just a few things I need you to note is we have bathrooms in this auditorium. I'm not sure if you are aware. I think the ladies is in that, and they're both on the left-hand side. So if at any point you need to go and relieve yourself, just proceed towards the left-hand side. We also have a Wi-Fi that is available. I would love to give you the password if you are ready. Okay, we have Wi-Fi available. If you go into your Wi-Fi, you will select guest, Sunnyside Park Hotel guest. And the password is SSP, S for sugar, 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 papa, at 1895. At 1895. SSP at 1895. Are we good? Great. So before we start, before I call on the main speaker, I would just like us to just take a moment and just breathe in and out. Okay, so the password again is sugar, sugar, papa, SSP at 1895. Okay, so I would like to acknowledge that we come from different walks of life. There's different reasons why we are here right now. And I need us to connect to this moment. Please, can we have all cell phones switched off? Thank you very much. Can we just take a moment and just breathe? Moment to breathe. We've got young people that are unemployed in this room. We've got young entrepreneurs in this room. We've got startup businesses in this room. We have different challenges. And I just need us to reflect on why we are here. Let's just take a moment and just breathe in and out and reflect on why we are here. And I know that there is some amongst us who want to change the world. How many woke up thinking that they want to change the world this morning? Thank you very much. That's what we need. Because when you change the world, you need to change first. You cannot change the world if you have not evolved into what you want the world to be. So I want us to acknowledge and be honest to ourselves in this moment. Because every single person has to be honest with themselves. Let's just take a moment of honesty right now. We are honest to ourselves about our flaws. We are honest to ourselves about our strengths, our weaknesses, our businesses. Can we just take a moment and look at them objectively? So that when anybody else gives you feedback, it is something that you already know that needs to be worked on. right, and again, just a great warm welcome to the candidates that have just walked in. Welcome to the GEP Pitching Booster. And we are just beginning our program for the day. I would just like to acknowledge thank you very much. I'd like to just acknowledge the panel that is going to be here. We have the lovely Mrs. Leah Manenze, who will be representing GEP as CEO this morning. She's in the building. And she will be basically giving you guys the purpose of why you are here, a breakdown of the day, and how everything is going to happen. She'll tell you what to expect, and the objectives also of the program. And then I know that we have Mr. Tello, who is here today also from the Gauteng Enterprise Propeller, who will be speaking to you guys about the breakaway sessions that we are going to be having later on today. So I think, sir, should we wait for CEO to start, or we just proceed with the program?
Kgotson dumelang, goeiemôre. Ke mo reng absent. It's all right. Okay, Macheroni. I see, I'm trying. Good. Welcome, everyone. Sorry for the late start. We're actually expecting that we should have started at 9 o'clock. So, hence the icebreaker. But did you enjoy it? A lot. Okay. And thanks to Ndate Sitabela with that. So, the CEO, in terms of our program, will come and speak to you. Can I just establish once more, how many of you guys are running their businesses, registered or not registered? You are running businesses now, as it is. Okay, keep the hand up, sir. All right. And then the second question is, you've never been assisted by GP? Not at all. Okay, that is good. That is good. Not at all. No, it's good because that is why I called you today. That is the reason why I called you today. To say, let's deal with this issue. Let's address this situation. You were one of my brothers. Let's do that. So that's why you're here today. So I just want to establish one other thing. So let's see the hands of the unemployed, because some people, you know, so let's make sure that they are one side. Those who are coming in as unemployed people as we speak. You are unemployed, you're not running a business, and so on. So I'm still missing those other names. I told you, there are these other names. It's shorter, you know. Okay, so can I ask you one last thing? Ne? You saw yourself, ne? Just this one we do. It's okay. So I want this row and that row. Ibe but business. People who are unemployed this side. It's not a tag. It's not a stigma. Just this side. No, please. Can you just move quickly? So amongst us, as we are moving, I want to acknowledge the people from Harambe, if they are there, Harambe, please. Okay, you see Harambe at the back? Those are our Harambe guys at the back. Harambe, welcome. Ndate Ike Mukhani, welcome. Me, I'm going to know you now. Kitsiba Adele, I'll know you as well. And then we also have some people from Gauteng Treasury. I saw Ndate Thomas, Gauteng Treasury. Ndate Thomas is here with us today. I think he just went out briefly. And I know, now that I look at my watch, that we will be having Ndate Tsepo Manyama, who will be coming from NYDA. So he will also be part of the discussion. And then we have another company that is called Mzile Associates Consulting. Can I see a representative from Mzile Consulting? Welcome, ma'am. Thank you very much. So you're going to take us through enterprise development. What an exciting topic. Yes, and then I just want to do a special welcome as well. I know you'll be surprised that, you know, since we can't tell who's old, who's young, and, you know, all that. But amongst us also we have Ndate Mushweshwe with his colleagues. I invited them specially today just to say they must come and see what is it that we are doing. Ndate Mushweshwe is starting a new organization. Okay, not really very new, but what he wants to do is really to assist businesses and young people in the region of Orange Farm. So I thought it was just great that he's also here with us to see what we are doing. What is this pitching booster all about? So as introduced, I am I like program, but they call me project manager for this. You know, but all my life I've been doing projects, programs, so it doesn't really matter. All it matters if I do what I'm liking, and my kids can still go to school. I'm so excited. Okay, so amongst us here we have people that we're not going to introduce, and if they look you funny, don't worry about them. We will sort them out tomorrow, because they're doing that by design. Okay, so they're not meaning to be ugly, but they just don't want to give you an unfair advantage. Is that okay? Yeah, but we thought it's good that they are here today, so that tomorrow when things happen, they must not be too harsh on you. But please remember, we are here not to trick you. We are here to share advice. We are here to share some skills. We are here to share access. We are here to bring the services. Most of you, I'm glad, have not received any services from GEP. Also to access those services so that at least when we talk about Gauteng, as the Premier has also said in this state of the province, as we continue on the big campaign of township economy revitalization, we don't just talk. I'm sure we're all tired of talk shops. Eh? Yeah, I am. I don't know about you. Though sometimes I happen to sit on the other side, but I'm working. I'm a civil servant, you must understand. So that is the situation. So at this stage, we just want to confirm if the CEO comes, but let me not wait for her. Let me tell you what we're going to do, né? So that we continue on the program. All right. It's important that both parties, whether you're employed or unemployed, it's okay, no problem, or you're running your enterprise. But I'm sure you'll find the information very valuable. This is then presented, I think Mayor had already introduced him, but I'll introduce him again because we happen to share the same region or corridor of Gauteng, which is Ekurhuleni. So I'm sure you'll be blessed with him. If you go at Nzavi, I'm sure you'll find something. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. And then we'll also have somebody speaking on the, okay, then we'll go to the commissions after that, because we want to do a joint setting, and then another presentation would then have where we address SMMEs, where we address people who are unemployed, okay? So for the unemployed, obviously we'll have Harambee. And I must tell you something about Harambee for Youth Accelerator Program. Harambee is partnered with the Gauteng program called 1 million. I don't know if you know about the TEPO 1 million. It's a huge program. If you don't know about it, then you don't stay in Gauteng. We must check your credentials. Okay. But the target there is really to say, how do we help to curb unemployment? So we identify youth, we skill youth, and then we place them. So meaning that Gauteng, the province, has partnered with private sector so that in the process, then where there are areas to place, then they can place. But something unique which I'm taking, I'm actually reluctant to share about Harambee before that Ike says I took his presentation, is the number of companies that they deal with and what these companies expect of the young people that are making these applications. But what I can share, I know this one they'd like me to share, is that at least they are asking a 12-month commitment to the program, 12 months. Because isn't it that most of us say, particularly young people, they said they wanted ends. I don't have. What do they expect? I know you haven't heard that. It's only me. I happen to work for Hambe sometimes, so I got to read about that. But that is true. And then also, I think I can't say much about the NYDA, but at this stage, I just want us, let's move that program up a bit. Let's get Ntaten Zavi talking to us on the personal branding so that at least we keep the flow going, okay? Yeah, so Ntaten Zavi will come and just continue on personal branding, and then Madame will take over again from there, okay? All right, most welcome.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing? I've got butterflies, a fly that was born like you and I. Somebody that breathed like you and I. Somebody that was a child at one point. But somebody that understood that, you know what, let me be unique. Let me carve my brand. Let me create something that as a brand, I'll be recognized. And I will build my own brand. So you need to know that every second, if you have not reached 35, don't worry. You'll be a billionaire in seconds one day, don't worry. I'm already a billionaire in seconds, and I'm going towards 2 billion. But the question is, I'm not saying that's money, please. Get me right, in seconds. Now, the question you have to ask yourself is, how do I create value for me to earn every second? There are those that you'll be sleeping, don't worry. I'm not counting those seconds. But you have to ask yourself, what should I do now, from now on, going forward? How should I represent myself? How should I appear? How should I appeal for me to earn that money per second? Again, let me clarify that one. It depends on where you're born. Because if you're born in Zimbabwe and you're earning trillions dollars in second, then $1 trillion in second, compared to South African rand, then it's a different story. But look at Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah understood his value and said, I need to move from South Africa to earning dollars. So the more you are conscious of your brand, the more you start to interrogate how should you earn. I'll tell you something. There's a misconception that says a lot of small businesses die in first year or second year. But let me submit to you that not all small businesses die, but entrepreneurs migrate to new ideas. And when you migrate to new ideas, it's when you realize that what I'm doing, it's making money, but look, according to my value, it may not be enough. Let me migrate to something else. That's why you hear most of the small businesses owners or entrepreneurs, they'll say, I started this business, then I moved to this one, I moved to this one. But now the mistake that they make is to say, I failed on this one. You did not fail. You dropped the product to go for something bigger. You only fail the day your idea stops. That's when you failed. But as long as you are thinking every day about new ideas, you are not a failure in your business. But now we need to understand something. You have to determine how much are you worth yourself. If you understand your value, and I come to you and say, come and work for me, I want you to be a receptionist, I'm going to give you 2,000. Do you know that you will decline even if you don't have a job? Say, no, I'd rather struggle, but I can't take a job worth 2,000. What am I going to do? Because you already know what that money is going to do for you. You already know, you have already calculated and checked. And ladies and gentlemen, I need to bring this, especially to us black community, that it should bother you. It should bother you every day. If you run a business, but you can't pay for your own accommodation. But most of us, it doesn't bother us because we are not troubled by our value to say, how much am I worth? We're still stuck in a situation that, because some of us, you'd find that where we are stuck now, it's not because we belong there, but because we have not evaluated ourselves and say, based on my value, I should be doing 1, 2, 3. Based on my value, I should be saving for 1, 2, 3. Based on my value, I should be moving to have my own apartment. We need to challenge ourselves in that and say, how do I get to that point? But also, you need to package yourself right. Packaging. Every product appeals based on packaging. Ladies and gentlemen, it's true. It doesn't matter how you are dressed. It doesn't matter how I look. Who cares? It's me. It's my life. But you need to know that as an investor, I can, by looking at you, ask you, what business are you doing? And you tell me, and I say, can I invest in your business? Without you having told me or approached me. I need to clarify that one too. To say packaging yourself, you also need to understand the industry you're in. Because you can't walk around wearing suits when you're in construction. And they call you and say, hey, the truck is stuck. And you need to sort it out quickly. And you don't even have an overall in your Mercedes-Benz. That's a wrong packaging. That's a wrong packaging. Because you need to be ready for emergency. So how you dress when you wake up in the morning, look at yourself in the mirror. You have to ask yourself, who am I representing here? Which industry am I representing here? Where am I going as I'm dressing up? You don't just wake up and say, oh, okay, I'm dressed up, let me go. You know, now I'll see ahead. You need to ask yourself those questions to say, where am I going? Oh, I'm going into a hotel. A hotel, yes, there are probably somebody wealthy might be sleeping there today. So as I walk out and interact with other people, I might bump against this person who's an investor. And if I were to introduce myself to this person, the way I look, will it be appealing? Understand me, I'm not saying dress expensive, but be conscious. Be very conscious. Don't just wake up. Walk. Wake up and think and walk. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very important how we present ourselves even on social media. Those who are in social media, let me see your hands. Twitter. Okay, my Twitter handle is @NzaviD, NDZAVI Derek. That's my Twitter handle. That's my name that appears there. That's my Twitter handle. You need to understand that even those who are looking for job, this relate to you very strongly to say, whatever you say, when you apply for a job, they get your CV. Now companies have social media managers. They hand your CV to them and say, can you check this person for us? And they go to your account, they see that pornography, you know, they see this. You retweeted all these things, you like everything, you know. And you just talk to anybody careless. You even respond to some of the celebrities in a careless way. They now understand, oh, this person, this is their attitude. This person may not be the right candidate for us. The same with us guys who are looking for a job, for opportunities, business opportunities. They go to your account. And some of us, it's terrible. We are using even our company accounts to talk about, I'm in bed. I'm about to sleep, you know. You know what, Mbalula is fired, good for him. You know, so we need to be very careful because that is about your brand. That's about who you are. And if I have to do a profiling of you, I have to go through your lifestyle to see what you're doing, how you're doing, and all that. And I can tell this one I can do business with or not. Ladies and gentlemen, lastly, we need to understand that once you know yourself, you will know what's your payoff line. Tadefani said something very important to say. You need to know how to introduce yourself. But you can't introduce yourself if you don't know who you are. If I were to ask you here and say, what's your personal or opportunity for proposal to know? When you do a proposal and you present to a company, you need to tell that company what you know about them. The same with employment. When I went for my first interview at Discovery Health and I walked in there, they asked me, what do we do? I said, you sell medical aid equipment. I did not know that they are in medical aid. I said, no, you sell medical equipment. And they said, no, you're wrong. We are into medical aid. But what did that say? It said that, you know what, you did not study about us. And you know what, I would have lost that job. But because I prayed before I left, I said, God, please, in my weaknesses, can you just give me strength, you know? And guess what? I was even shocked when they come and say, hey, sorry, you got a job. I was like, oh, okay. So they overlooked that. God help me here. But those are the things that can make...
It's a very, very, very important topic that he shared about. You need to be able to understand who you are as a brand. You need to be able to define you so that when you step out, you are not just going to be swayed by any opportunity that comes across. You've got to be able to articulate your visions clearly. For you personally, as a brand, for your business, as a brand. I know that sometimes we usually say, I don't care what they think of me. I'm going to do what I want to do. Do you understand? I know that's usually, it comes out very loosely, that statement. But it is important to know what other people's views are. You don't have to care, but you need to be aware. Because when you become aware, the reflection will tell you if there is change that is needed within the brand, within the person, or not. Do you understand? So that what I just displayed now was just a reflection of where we are sometimes and how we just take things for granted. And I don't want to judge or blame anybody, but it is usually because of the environment that we are in. We are pushing our business. We've not been exposed much. So we used to like dealing with the neighbors. Sure, I know. You want an order, moja. Tomorrow, you know, do you understand what I'm saying? But then when you want to then assume now a personal branding perspective, you've got to be able to have etiquette so that anybody that comes from different streams of businesses will be able to get through to. Do you think that person would have gotten a call back after that interaction? Definitely not. Because first of all, they cannot even articulate what the business is about, what the products, what products they have, the services they provide. Do you understand? So this is just a platform where we are able to take in and learn from today. Define, write down what your vision is. Write down what your mission is. Your values. Babu Derek touched on something that is very important. Social media etiquette. We've got to be able to identify our moral value stand and make it very clear so that everywhere we go, we carry the same face. That if I want to find out about Tepo and I go to Tepo's Facebook page, I will find the same Tepo that I had met today. It's just for your own personal benefit. You become a better person, that you don't have to go out there and become something else. So that anybody else that wants to interact with you, the first impression's lost. First impression's lost. Somebody may just be referred, or they just remember the name and the surname. And they think, let me just quickly check on social media. They find you with the same name and surname on social media. They go in to engage and find out who's this person. And they find content that they don't want to associate with. And that's it. No matter how brilliant you are in what you do, there are certain things you can never take for granted. Personal branding and lifestyle branding is one of those things. Do not take it for granted. You may not care what people think of you, but you want to be aware of what people's views are about you, okay? Thank you. So I think right now we're going to the next speaker of the program from NYDA. I would just like to call on, sorry, I just left my program on my table. Please do come forth. Please forgive me. I'm going to introduce you properly, and I'll have everybody that's here today honor you. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Duduzile from NYDA. Please honor her with a round of applause.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are you today? Are you okay? Are you blessed? All right. I am blessed too. My name is Duduzile Shongwe. I'm from the National Youth Development Agency based at Maponya Mall branch in Soweto. We know Maponya Mall in Soweto. Do you know where NYDA is? At Maponya Mall. How many of you have been there? Everyone. Obviously, if we have entrepreneurs there, definitely you are there. Right? Yes. Okay. All right. I'm based at Maponya Mall in Soweto. I'm the product coordinator for the Economic Development Division. What all right, you can all hear me now. All right then. Okay, we are a youth organization that is assisting young people between the ages of 18 to 35, be it with business, be it with skills development, be it with jobs placements. So what we do at Maponya Mall, especially when it comes to entrepreneurs, we have grant programs, we have business consultancy services, that is non-financial support. We also have mentorship and marketing cases where we now support the businesses after being funded. We also place young people in employment opportunities. We house a database of unemployed youth. Our vision as NYDA is to be a credible and capable youth organization, obviously for young people. Our values will be respect, excellence, integrity, timeliness. So for us, that's what we strive to do at Maponya Mall. Now here we have entrepreneurs. We have a program that is called Grant Program. Grant Program is funding. You don't have to pay anything back if you are funded. It's funding up to 100,000 divided into 3 thresholds. The first threshold will be 10,000, anything between 1,000 and 10,000. So now if your business say it's not registered and you okay. Hello. Okay. It's fine. All right. So if your business is not registered and you need equipment or stock for the business, or even maybe some little bit of assistance with material, you can then come in and apply for the 10,000 rand thresholds. Or you have an idea, you're thinking, okay, I have a space where I can actually operate a business, but then I'm not registered, or I am registered but I don't have any equipment or anything like this. I have not started anything. You can actually come to NYD and apply for 10,000. That's where people who are not registered or who are registered but have not started, they can apply for 10,000. And then the second threshold will be 10,001 rand to 50,000. Now that's for businesses that are already existing, they are operating, and we can actually look at them and see there's proof of market, there's letters of intent for people to come and use your services. That's also for material, equipment and stock. You can come and apply for a grant for that. And there's also 100,000, which is the same thing, but then with the 100,000 now, with the 50,000 you must have employed one person, with the 100,000 you must have employed 2 people, and then you must have audited financials. So that's for entrepreneurs. So it's 3 thresholds, 1,000 up to 100,000, divided into 3 thresholds. And then you just come into Maponya Mall anytime between 8:30 until 4:30. We can do a consultation and take it from there. Then after a business is being funded, we then take you through to our mentorship program. We have mentors who we work with at NYDA. So everyone that is funded has to go through a mentorship program. Now we buy you equipment. Let's say we buy you a machine. Let's say we are a tailor, then we buy you a machine. The machine belongs to NYDA for 2 years. That's why we give you a mentorship for 2 years. So every after 3 months, they will come for aftercares or site visits just to check how the business is doing. Every quarter for 2 years, and then after 2 years, the machine is yours, obviously, but then you still have to operate and make sure that the business is running. You are allowed to come and apply again for funding. Let's say you applied for 50,000. Now you want to come back and apply for 100. You can come and apply. 100 in this case will be another 50,000. So you can actually come back and apply for funding again. And then the mentor that we will allocate you to is not someone who is in the same field. Let's say you are in catering. We will not allocate a mentor who is in catering. Reason being, sometimes they might not even give you enough information. We don't want them to teach you about catering per se, but what we want them to do is to assist you to be successful in business. So they need to assist you in financial management. They need to assist you in bookkeeping. So we don't want them to come and say, okay, let me assist you in catering. Just now they get an opportunity from GP. And then for people who are in catering. And then they don't even tell you because they are also in catering. It's only fair. So we just don't give you mentors that are in the same business as you. But then definitely we'll allocate a mentor, and then the mentor will assist you based on your needs. We always ask for reports after each and every mentorship session. Then there's what we call market linkages. Now let's say GEP gets funding from wherever for 5 million. And then they come to NYDA, they tell us that we need entrepreneurs who are in media, who are in hospitality, who are also in IT. Please can you provide those entrepreneurs to us? We will then go to our database of entrepreneurs, send them to GEP for opportunities. You will also obviously have to apply, but we will let you know time and again. We also go out to companies and say, we have this type of people that we funded, can you please provide opportunities for them? So time and again, they will then give us opportunities. We will always send them to you guys and tell you that there's opportunities for entrepreneurs, say at SAP, wherever. That's where our market linkage program comes in. Then we have what we call a business consultancy voucher. Business consultancy voucher, now this is where we do a business plan for you. We do a marketing strategy for you. We do due diligence for you. There's also payroll systems. There's branding and design. There's website. There are a lot. It's a lot of them. With branding and design, this is what we do. Your banners, your invoices, your teardrop banners, your quotation books, they will all have your logo on them. So we do that for you. But currently the branding one was closed. It's going to be open now. So the business plan is also, we do it for you, feasibility study. How we do it, you come and apply for a voucher. We call you in for assessment. We sit, we talk. I will do some short interview with you. If approved, we then allocate to a service provider. We'll choose from a list of our service providers. We give you a list, you choose 3. You're more than welcome to call them and interview just to check how they're doing with their business and all that. Then you choose 1. That one is the one who will do the business plan for you. Once you're happy, you will then, obviously working with the system, there are processes. Once you're happy, you'll have to come and approve that you're happy. Then that's the only time we will pay the service provider. You are entitled to 4 vouchers per lifespan year business. So one business is entitled to different vouchers, but 4 of them. So you apply for 1 at a time, get it over and done with, we pay, you apply for a second one. Now that's our non-financial support service to businesses. Then we also have what we call EDP. EDP is the Entrepreneurship Development Program. That's training for entrepreneurs. They train you on different business needs. It could be business planning, it could be marketing, it could be branding, how to present yourself. It could be just a lot of things about business. It's an Entrepreneurship Development Program. The training is done for 3 days. You get a certificate just as proof that you've attended the training, because we will also need a certificate for our voucher program if you are approved. So we want to make sure that our entrepreneurs have attended that training. If you don't attend our training, someone might come to us to apply for a voucher, but already they have a degree in business administration. There's no need for us to take them to that training. But others, they will come and apply for a voucher. They've never had any type of training in entrepreneurship. So then that's when we take them to this training. So this training will be done for 3 days, and it also serves as proof that you've attended training. When it comes to voucher, once you're approved for voucher, we will need that certificate. And also other trainings that we do BE training, and then afterwards you will get a BE certificate for free. We also do sales pitch. We train you how to present yourself in front of other entrepreneurs, how to pitch your ideas in front of other potential funders. That's what we teach you. And we also have what we call corporate governance training. Corporate governance training is for those people who want to start cooperatives. Before you can actually start a cooperative, I don't want to come here and stand here and tell you that it's good to start a cooperative and all that. People must be committed, because now in a cooperative you'll find that we are 8, but only 2 people are committed, yet we all want to benefit. So we need to make sure that you understand the constitution, you all participate in everything that is done within the cooperative, and you understand the compliance, everything that has to do with the cooperative before you can actually start. Then after training, if you're not registered, we can actually register the cooperative for you. And then after we fund. The funding for cooperative, the same one that I explained to you, grant, we call it cooperative grants. So it's the same thing, 10,000 until 100,000. So if people are interested in starting the cooperatives, they can also come to NYDA and request assistance from us. So that's it when it comes to the side of the business. Now, unemployment. We house a database of unemployed youth. Young people come to our offices and they register on our database. What we do, we then go to different companies, and obviously we try and build partnerships with them to say, if you have opportunities, please can you send them to us. We house a database of these young people so that at least you can give them employment opportunities. And then if they do offer you employment, you don't have to pay us anything. We're not a recruitment agency. We're just assisting young people to get employment. Then once you called for an interview, we take you through to training. We have what we call job preparedness training. What Ubabu Hlungwani touched on here is very important. And the role play that Usis was doing here, it's very much important. Because you call young people for employment opportunities, private number, hello. You know, those type of things, the telephone etiquette on its own can just make you to lose a job immediately without even going for an interview. Someone is excited, you've been sitting at home for six years. Now I'm calling you, I say, okay, you're being shortlisted for a position of a business development officer at NYDA. Oh, thank you very much, Sister Tuzula. Then you hang up. For all you know, I called you the private number. How are you going? You know, those type of things. So we try and train young people on those things. We also train you on how to write a professional CV, a CV that can sell you out there, and also how to present yourself once you're in an organization. Now that's life skills. So we have 2 types of training when it comes to jobs. It's job preparedness, and then it's life skills training. We just want to make sure that young people know exactly who they are. And when you go, wherever you go, you need to present yourself professionally so that people can take you seriously. Even when you go for interviews, you need to present yourself. We've seen a lot of things happening with young people. We've seen LLB graduates failing interviews. I've sat in one of the panels at ITC. It was so painful to see a graduate who passed with flying colors failing an interview because of the way they presented themselves. We've seen graduates at ESCOM failing interviews because of the way they presented themselves. Possible candidates, potential candidates, but then because when they come into the room, they just walk anyhow. They're smelling ukwai, and you know, all those things. Before they come again, now they want to calm down their nerves, so they go and, you know, to Jana. But then when you come in an interview, you are even unable to present yourself. So those are the type of things that we have to try and make sure, which when we send young people to young person to ITC, we are confident that this young person is going to present themselves professionally. Even when we send you for pitches, we know, we've trained you on sales pitch, we know exactly that this young entrepreneur is going to present himself professionally. So that is what we're doing at NYDA. So if you want to come and visit us and get our opportunities, you can come to Maponya Mall. I'm very proud to say I'm working at Maponya Mall. I have reasons why. So you can actually come at Maponya Mall. I know now that I'm here, everyone will come and look for Tutuzile. No, it's fine. You will find Tutuzile there by the corner at Maponya Mall. Definitely when you walk, you will see me. So you can come and then we can talk. You know, we do a consultation, we see where your business is, we take it from there, we see how we're going to assist you. Now the financial year, obviously, March is about to end, it's going to be April. Just come, you know, come in. You can come even tomorrow, any day. Let's just see how we can assist those young people who are in businesses and those who are looking for employment opportunities. For employment opportunity, when you come, just come with your CV and your qualifications so that we can load you there and there on our database immediately. Please. And then for entrepreneurs, come with a copy of your ID. I know why. If you know that you've not attended any business course, just come with your certified copy of your ID. Definitely you will apply for training there and there, and then other things will follow. But at least training, I know you can apply for it there and there. So that's for entrepreneurs. I hope I've given you enough information. For more information, I'm there at Maponya Mall. Thank you very much.
Check. Thank you. Look, thank you so much for the information that you shared. I just want to give the rest of the candidates to ask questions if you have. Perhaps you're not from Soweto, you want to find out things. And also if you can share, I don't know, your work email address or details. And then also, if you're looking at a young person unemployed, who did not finish matric, but has great business ideas, how would you then advise that person to proceed? And if anybody else has questions, please just show yourself by the raising of the hand. Thank you.
All right, in terms of a young person who has not finished matric, has grade 11, there are successful entrepreneurs who have grade 10. So when it comes to the business side of things, we don't even look at a qualification. That's why we provide the training, the entrepreneurship development program training. We also try and advise the entrepreneurs to continue, you know, further their studies. We send them to colleges if we do get bursaries. Recently, we had partnered with NSFAS. So some of the entrepreneurs who had grade 11, grade 10, we would then talk to NSFAS and then say, okay, if they can go to a college and do your entry, which is equivalent to matric at least, then that's fine. But we don't even look at a qualification when it comes to businesses. But most of our entrepreneurs who come, it's either they have grade 11 or grade 12 upwards, yeah.
Morning.
Sorry.
Thanks for the opportunity. I just wanted. Hi. Is it true that you assist women-owned companies or individuals over 35 if they are women?
Okay, previously when we were Umsobomfu, we used to do that. We would say 18 to 35 and women, but now it's strictly 18 to 35.
Thank you.
Hello, Tutuzile.
Hi.
Sanbonani Nonge. Thank you. My name is Talita. Tutuzile, I'm happy to hear what you had to say about the NYDA. And I noticed you referred a lot to Maponya as opposed to NYDA as such. I guess it's because of the kind of problem I just had, because I went to NYDA in Braamfontein and I applied for the vouchers. And I went through the interview process and everything was fine, you know. They assessed our business, how it's going, and. But then now when it comes to Ecolback, they call me and they're like, okay, everything is fine. You are next, but now we need a certificate. And I'm like, I don't have a business certificate. I only have business experience. And once that happened, they told me now I can't get the certificates, the vouchers anymore. So now for me, it's like, why didn't you tell me, and why only now I don't qualify? So I don't know what to do in that position. I don't know if am I the one who in the wrong, or NYDA, or is it NYDA Braamfontein is different from the NYDA in Maponya, or is it the same all across? I don't know what to do, yeah.
All right, no, Talita, we are not different. I'm just referring to Maponya because I work there, but I work for NYDA. NYDA, we are not different, we work the same way. You were supposed to go through the training for 3 days and get the certificate and then the vouchers, you know? Okay, can we follow up on that, please? Because I wouldn't know what happened, go diagonal at NYDA. But definitely if I check you on the system, I will see you, then I will know what to do. But I know you should have attended the training. If you don't have the certificate, obviously we can't give you the voucher, then we take you through training. After the day 3 year training, you come with the certificate, then we issue the voucher. That's the process. So can we do that? All right, okay.
Good morning, everyone. Hi to Duzile.
Hi.
Me and Uncle something.
Okay.
In terms of cooperatives, I understand it consists of 5 candidates.
Yes.
So what happens if somebody is over 35?
Yeah.
Are you only considering under 35 or even over 30 in terms of cooperatives?
Yeah. Okay. In terms of cooperatives, that's the argument we always have, even us internally. It's strictly 18 to 35. Strictly 18 to 35. We're still debating about it internally, but for now it's still, as it stands, it's still 18 to 35. Yeah. Hello.
2015 when I attended a workshop in the NYDA Orange from the organizing multiple box. Even today I'm going to certificate so fungas with my local and fungas know if funga apply like
Okay. Which workshop was this? So it was facilitated by NYDA. All right. Okay, if it's business, was it entrepreneurship training, the entrepreneurship program? You should have received the certificate after day 3, even today. So she was based where? Did she tell you? Sindiswa. We've never heard of Sindiswa ever. No, maybe is it not a different name, Sindiswa? No. Yeah, maybe the name. So can you, is it possible for you, okay, I will give you my details, then we can follow up. I will follow up with the trainers, and then we can check your name, and then the certificate you can get. Was it a lady? I don't know how to say this one. Okay.
Hi, Tutuzile.
Hi.
Okay.
Okay.
When it comes to the requirements for the grant, for a person to actually qualify for that grant, what are your requirements except the age part?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Obviously, it's the age, the ID, the CV, you know, the registration documents. What we need is for you to go and get the quotations. If you have an existing business, you're applying for 50,000, you go and get quotations from suppliers. You provide your lease agreement where you operate in the business. If it's your mom who allowed you to operate in the house, she must just do what's this, an affidavit stating that you are operating and you're paying 200 rands for rent. And then what else also? Yeah, it's just that, and then all your documents, your registration documents, your ID copies, and then you'll fill in application forms. But then remember, situations differ. You'll find that your business might require me to ask for more documents. I will definitely do that if I am working with your file. I will tell you, okay, now this is what I'm going to need, this is what I'm going to need. And also, most importantly, your business bank statement and personal bank statement. Guys, it's important. When you operate a business, don't just open a business bank account and leave it like that. Deposit, even if you deposit your 10,000 and then you take it out, it's still fine. As long as we see that there's transactions that are happening, you know, and then your personal bank statements. The reason why we ask for both, because people, they decide, okay, I'm getting an opportunity, 100,000, because I will need funding from NYD, and they will think it's 100,000 every month. That's a lot of money that you're getting every month, actually. And then you say, okay, they will deposit in my personal account, not in the business account, you know, because you're thinking NYD will only ask for a business bank account. So we ask for both, business and personal. Yeah. Yeah. And then obviously it will differ again with businesses. Yeah. Hello. Okay. Okay, all right, yeah, I'm going to respond. All right, I just want to find out, this appointment letter was for a job, like it's an employment or a job for a business? For your construction company, okay. All right, okay, we don't do bridging finance, that will be bridging finance with us. So with our grant program, because it's not a lot of money and you don't have to pay it back, the bridging finances, we don't do it anymore. We used to do it when we were doing loans. So the contracts, we don't fund contracts, but we fund the business. So normally what I would advise entrepreneurs, I would say look at your business and see what is it that you need, then come and apply for the business, you know, and then it will help you obviously when you get contracts. You already have equipment, you already have things, so you apply for the business. I'm not sure how they explained it to you. Was it Maponya? Because I see you talked about GP. Oh, okay, all right, because we have GP also just next to us. All right, so that's the first part. Then the second part, the voucher. You can apply for a voucher for now. We do the assessment at the very same time. You will apply for a voucher and apply for training. So when we continue with the processing voucher, you might be called for training, because now it's two different divisions. We have product division, which is where I'm based, and then we have services. So they will call you for training. Probably by the time we finish the assessment and maybe we approve you, you would have received your training. So that's what we need for the voucher to be issued. The certificate is needed for the voucher to be issued. So for you to attend the training now, you just need to come to the branch, fill in the form, and then they will call you because they schedule training time and again. But I know we normally go to Orange Farm. That's why I want to follow up with the Ntomfuti, yeah. All right. And then when it comes to bookkeeping voucher, I hear you saying it's a lot of money. Guys, please don't pay anything. Go NYDA, everything is for free. The grant is for free. Vouchers are for free. You don't have to pay anything. Please, if someone tells you need to pay 500, just tell them, Ututuzile said at the pitching booster campaign that we don't pay anything. Go NYT until you come to our offices and then we tell you that you pay. Please, you don't have to pay any service provider. You don't have to pay anyone for anything.
Ututuzile said you don't pay anything, right? Guys, don't forget. Sadly, because of time, we're going to just take one last question. And then we will then proceed through to have tea. Just to note, when we come back, please just be seated exactly the way you were arranged, where we have startups and entrepreneurs this side and the young unemployed people, the two, yes, on the last row in the room. So the first two rows will be your startup and your entrepreneurs, and then the last row again will be for the young unemployed. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, Sis Dudu. Hey, and everyone in the house. My question is based on age restriction. It happens that I have applied for a grant with you guys. Then, while I'm still waiting for you to reply on my grant application, then it happens that my age is over, or my partner it's over. Maybe we are two in business within. We have me and my partner. So, are you still going to respond or to give me that grant if one of the partner within the business is over age?
Thank you.
Okay, MITA is strictly 18 to 35, 100% youth. We are not going to consider a Montana 36 years. Right, we are not going to consider someone who is 36. I know sometimes it's unfair because you applied when we had issues with the budget, we had no budget and we had a backlog, and now we come to your application, we realize you've turned 36. If you've turned 36, unfortunately we'll write to you, we'll also call you and tell you that you are unable to process your application. But if you are turning 35 today, what's the date? The 1st of March. You have up until the 1st of March next year at NYDA. So it's 35 years, full portion. That's how we call it here. We say full portion. Yes. So you have up until the 1st of March next year, 2019. Yes.
Thank you very much, Sister Tuzila. If you have any questions further, okay, I think Ubaba wants to ask a question. Sadly, we can't say no to him. He's a big man.
Yeah. Unfortunately, no. It has to be strictly 18 to 35. Unfortunately, now this, remember guys, we also governed, as to Tuzila, I'm also governed by policies, you know, that are set somewhere by the principals somewhere. So it's up until 18 to 35. What I know, what we are debating about now is for the cooperatives, because most of them, they all the time, they will have that older person, you know. So that's what we are debating about now. But for businesses, it's strictly 18 to 35, full portion 35 years.
Thank you. I know that sometimes youth companies would ask someone to mentor and be part of the directorship of the company, but let's just pray that NYDA will note that question, because it is very critical. And perhaps they will make amends for 2019, guys. But thank you very much, Sister Ruzile. Right now we are going to break away. To tea and coffee just outside. And about 10, 15 minutes. 10 minutes. Okay, about 15 minutes. What time is it? Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay, so tea will be for 15 minutes. So around 1:45, we are expected to come back to the auditorium. Just please note, do not forget that our entrepreneurs, startup companies on this side of the auditorium, and then on the far right side will be your unemployed youth. I know that there's a group that just came in while we were busy with the program already. Kindly approach the registration desk so we have all your details. It will just help us to facilitate the later part of the day. And we may proceed to have tea and coffee. Thank you.
sawubona.
Eighty-seven, 103, 113. This bus must go. Are we fine? Are we fine? Mia, are we fine?